there's so many opportunities on LinkedIn. It's not just about one needs to look beyond just making money on there. I know that obviously many people are on there to make money, to get clients, to get business, but beyond that, there's so many opportunities, collaborations, this is one. I'm here right now, so this is another one. So there's so many opportunities out there. It's just being you. Like, that's why I always talk about being authentic. There's no need to lie about what you can or cannot do, because the thing is, in the end, people will find out that you are lying, that you can't do what you say that you can do. People need to build trust in you. So it's not about the business. People need to know who is behind the business. So that's why I talk about personal branding. People need to know who is behind the business, because people will not put down their money if they don't know who you are. They don't know what you stand for.
Obehi, the author of the storytelling series for small businesses and content creators. In Obehi Podcast, we talk about the power of your story, your narrative, and why you should own your voice. Whether you are a small business owner, a content entrepreneur, or you simply want to build your influence, storytelling is probably going to be your best instrument to connect with your audience. So join the awakened few who are owning their voices. Now let's get started with today's episode.
So my name is Yetunde Oyeleye, and I'm a personal branding and content strategist. I'm a Nigerian. I live in the UK, and I came to the UK in 2004. I came to do my master's. So after my first master's, I did a master's in management, and in between I was working, and stuff like that. Then I did an MBA in international business. Between that, I got married. I had my daughter, and I was working in the bank then. So after I had my daughter, I took time off work, and here it's quite expensive to get childcare and stuff like that. So I just decided to take time off to bring up my daughter and stuff like that. And then I think in between, COVID happened, and it was during COVID, I started thinking, what should I do? What can I do? And, I was just asking questions, asking God, just questions. And he mentioned writing, and I was like, okay, writing, because I know when I was quite young, I loved reading and writing. So I started reading when I was really young. So, I was an avid reader, and writer. I remember, when I was in primary school, because my dad was a diplomat. So we used to travel to different countries. And when we were in Germany, went to a British school. So I think that was where I kind of honed my writing skills. And, they would give us if just a sentence, for example, and say, just write a story based on that sentence, and I would write and write and write, and the teachers were like, oh, wow, I could write, and they really loved my writing and stuff. So I guess that was where, I really honed my skills. So when God was telling me writing, I was like, writing? Okay, what write books or what, how am I going to make money from writing, And so I went on to Google. I was like, okay, let me just look for the different types of writing, for example, So I saw different ones. I saw creative writing, I saw copywriting, and I was like, copywriting. Okay, let me check what copywriting is, So I went on, I saw some free courses on copywriting. I was just like going through and stuff like that. So at least I had kind of a basic idea, of what it was. And so one day, I mean, I've always had LinkedIn. I've had LinkedIn for like, I think it would be then, which was last year. I'd had it for like 11 years. But I just, registered and, and stuff. But I never did anything on LinkedIn. I never made a post in the 11 years I was on LinkedIn. And I think the people who I was connected with were, like friends, people I knew from church, family. So I just had about 200, connections. So I said, okay, let me just go. Let me see what this LinkedIn is all about, And that day I went onto LinkedIn, and then this post came up. It was from Chinedu. I don't know if you know him, and I said, okay, let me just read it and see what it's about.
Interact and see what will happen.
Yeah, see what will happen. I see it because I was like, how did this get onto my feed? I'm not connected to him. I don't, so I said, okay, let me just read it. And I read it, and it was so funny, and he was talking about how I think sometime in some years ago anyway, he was looking for a job, and there was this interview he had. I think it was with a bank, and he went there, and the guy was making fun of his shoes, and things like that. But it was really funny. It was a really funny post. And then at the end, he had a call to action, which I didn't know then. And he mentioned, that his copywriting masterclass was still on. And he had a few slots left, and if anyone was interested, they should DM him. And I was like, okay, is this a sign? So I said, all right. So I DM'd him, and he responded. I was actually, because I saw the number of his followership. I was like, wow, he had like 100 and something thousand. I was like, how, even if I sent him a DM, would he even see it or anything like that? So I did anyway. And that was how he actually responded. I asked him about the course and everything like that, about the, the fees and everything. And I paid. And that was how I got into, copywriting and, stuff like that. So he mentored me, and he taught me basically. Yeah, so that's how I got into onto LinkedIn, and I started my copywriting, content writing from there. And I've kind of since then transitioned into personal branding and and content strategy.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you remember why you stayed on LinkedIn for 11 good years and you never get serious on it until one time you have this encounter with Chinedu and the post, and then, of course, you started to get serious? Do you remember what was going on in your mind about LinkedIn, why you never really take it serious for those long period of time?
I don't know. I think what happened was, when I registered and I just went on there and I was like, whoa, this just looked like something for professionals. And you know how it's really different now, because then it wasn't like, the other social media platforms. Everything was just like really serious. Then it's either maybe you were looking for work or you were posting something about work, stuff like that. You didn't really see people really were not writing about maybe themselves, or I don't think like personal branding was not really a thing. People were just mainly writing about what they do or their work or this and that, and if maybe the occasional person put something, I used to see so many of it. Oh, this is not a social media platform. This is not I was like, okay. I don't think I'm ready for this, that kind of thing. So I just left it.
I see. Anyway, what is really interesting about that now is that you are a content strategist and a personal brand expert, and that means, of course, that you help people to not be like you years ago. You want to help them to be serious about what they are doing, to be intentional about their brand, and also to be intentional about the content that they put out there.
Yeah.
And Why you are legitimate in this is that you have passed through that stage.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk from experience. So first, uh, when you talk to people who were like you, who spent maybe a number of years without taking seriously their content on LinkedIn or the content that they create generally, what comes to your mind?
I mean, when I come across people like that, it's because I've been through it. I know I know what they what they're feeling, and sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, because you don't know where to start. You're seeing people talking about, oh, their career, people talking about their business, talking about what they've done, and you're like, right, little me, where am I going to fit it into all this? So I understand where they're coming from. Like I said, for like 11 good years, I was like, no, this is not for me. But to be honest, maybe for me, because I believe that my meeting with Chinedu was not by chance. um I believe that God just led me, to the right person, because he helped me every step of the way. He helped me to understand, LinkedIn, what it's all about, how I can, make myself visible, and things like that. So he kind of, let me say, softened the landing pad for me, if I put it that way. So it's always good to have someone who can help you if you don't understand the platform. So for me, I think that was really good.
The next thing I really would like to understand is how were you able to grow and establish yourself and establish your personal brand on LinkedIn? Could you say
Mhm.
something about that?
Um, I think I I got people to help me along the way, and that's why I tell people that if you don't understand something, always look for people who have gone ahead of you, to help you. Chinedu was there, like I said, to mentor me, to help me along the way. And also I had Coach Gabby as well, because there was time she was doing her LinkedIn optimization course, and I registered for that. So that was really eye opening for me as well, you know. And also I had what's her name now? I had oh, there's somebody else. Her name will come up anyway, as well. So, and I did how many days? I think it was, if I can remember correctly, either 14 or 21 days. It was like a writing challenge, but I learned so much. I learned so much, and I think that was where my growth kind of took off. You know, and because she would like bring like topics we had to write, about every single day. So we always had to put out content. So people got to know a lot about me through those, the different topics, that I was writing on. So people got to know about me. It was like, the thing is that, I mean, for personal branding, I'm not saying go and put out your life history, on social media. That's not what it's about. But um when people get to see a glimpse of you, it helps them to relate with you, you know, and it makes them feel like they know you, So although you've never met, but it kind of it made me more relatable, and it made me visible, to people. So I think that was, kind of it helped me to grow, and I wasn't copying anybody. So it was my voice. They were my stories, and I think that's what people just want, be authentic, be you, be original, and I think that was what helped me.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now, I'm sort of wondering about something.
Mhm.
Let's say there is an individual out there who do not yet understand what is meant by personal branding. What would you say about that? What does it mean, personal branding?
Now, personal branding is all about, first of all, personal branding is not lying about who you are or what you do. Personal branding is not about being famous. For personal branding is not about uh, 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 trying to be who you are not. Personal branding is bringing your whole, your skills, your values, um your character, everything about you, and letting people see, that this is who I am. Okay, so that when people see that this is who you are, then they're able to see what you can offer. So it's just being you. Like, that's why I always talk about being authentic. There's no need to lie about what you can or cannot do, because the thing is, in the end, people will find out that you are lying, that you can't do what you say that you can do. So it's about bringing all your skills, your values, your experiences, your story, all together, into this one, piece, and saying, okay, this is who I am. This is what I can offer you. This is what you will get. So that's, and making yourself visible out there. So that's what personal branding does. So it's not faking it, which some people think it is, and it's not. It's not about faking anything. It's just about being you. Like, who you see online is who you're going to see offline.
And now, because we concentrate a lot about small business owner, people who own businesses, but of course, maybe their business are not as large. How will those people leverage personal branding from your whole understanding?
I think, personal branding is for everyone, both, either you're a freelancer or a small business owner or a large business. And you don't have to, it's not it's not capital intensive. You don't have to spend money or whatever. It's the way you can build, establish and build your personal branding is by what you put out there. So in this case, for example, on LinkedIn, it would be your content. Through your content. So through your content, people get to know who you are. People get to know what you do. For example, maybe you're a realtor. You're into um, selling or letting property, or something like that. So you come, how you do is you come, introduce yourself, this is who you are. And it's not just about coming on and selling, because the thing is that people need to build trust in you. So it's not about the business. People need to know who is behind the business. So that's why I talk about personal branding. People need to know who is behind the business, because people will not put down their money if they don't know who you are. They don't know what you stand for. So people need to know you as a person and be able to relate with you. So you come, you show, and you must be able to solve their problems. So you need to find out the pain points of your your clients, find out what their challenges are, what their pain points are, and then address those challenges, address those pain points. So for example, like I was talking about, a realtor, or you might decide to talk about, what should I look out for when renting a property, because obviously, as somebody who wants to rent a property, I would like to know what should I look out for, so you can come up with content, about, maybe 3 things or 5 things to look out for when you want to rent, or 5 things to look out for when you want to buy a property, so things like it depends on the content you put out there. The content you put out there must address the pain points, must address the challenges, must address the problems, must answer the problems that your clients have. So that it's through your content that you'll be able to do all those things.
Thank you so much for that. Now, is there any way that maybe in your trajectory, in trying to establish yourself, you had some challenges, try to identify who your target audience are? Because now you are a personal brand expert, you're also a content strategist. For you to do that, meaning that you now know who you are creating content for.
Yes.
But I want to believe that in the beginning, this might not have been clear to you, because perhaps there are people out here who are beginners who do not yet know how to pinpoint their target audience. What would you like to say about that from your personal experience?
Well, I was, should I say lucky, or, like I said, Chinedu put me through all that. So like I said, my case was slightly different. From the beginning, he already told me, you need to know your target audience. And that's what I tell anybody who training, or who I'm, explaining to, that it's important, first of all, to know who your audience is. So who's your target audience? Because if you don't have a target audience, the thing is that your business can't be for everybody. Your services can't be for everybody. If you say it's for everybody, then maybe you're not ready to make money. But you must have a target audience. So are you targeting founders, entrepreneurs, coaches? Are you targeting students? So there must be a target audience, because this will help you to tailor your content, to their needs. And that's why it's so important, because you can't write for everybody. You can't write for everybody. Your content can be for everybody. Yes, it's possible. Like I always tell people, I have like my clients are, founders, entrepreneurs, coaches, and people like that. But when I write my content, I also write content for my followers, because it's my followers that got me to where I am. So once in a while I write content for my followers. So it's important to also remember them, because most times when we put out content, it's our followers who respond many times. I can tell you that 98% of the clients I've had have never ever commented on my posts. They were not following me, we had never had any interactions. What they did was go straight to my DM and say, "Oh, I've been seeing your content," or "Oh, I've been, following you," but not in that, in that way that maybe they were actually following me or connected to me. 98% of them were not. So it's my followers, who are always there online, commenting, liking, reposting, and stuff like that. So although I have my target audience, but I also want to create content for my followers.
Thank you so much for that. Now, but is there a way for one, of course, I'm asking this again for the beginner out there who are listening to you, is there a way that someone can find, I don't know if it's a kind of a strategy we will call it, to be able to identify who your target audience is? So an individual who do not know what his or her target audience is yet, what should he do? How should he go about it to be able to identify this target audience? What is your take on that?
That's why you should have a persona. So okay, for example, I'm selling baby food, for example. Now, who are those most likely to buy them? Mothers, yeah, maybe fathers sometimes, so it's not the babies. So, and the babies would not, so definitely it's the mothers, the women. Yeah, then once in a while you get the fathers who maybe once in a while they do buy. So now I know that now my target audience is women. Now yes, they're women, but what's the age group, the targets, so then you start narrowing it down. Who are the kind of women that would buy the formula or the baby food? Where are they based? Are they in the village? Are they in the cities? What's the age group or the age bracket? Is it between 18 and maybe 40? Things like that. So that's how you narrow down your target audience. So you need to know. Yeah. So it's by doing that, you need to look at the geographical region, the age, things like that. That will help you to know who your target audience, is. So by doing that, then you now know the kind of content to put out there, the way you're going to put out the content, the tone, the language, things like that, for example. So it's important, because if you don't know your target audience, you'll just be putting out content, and it won't reach those that you actually want it to reach.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. All right. Another area where you are really heavy on, of course, the second part of the conversation, it had to do with the content strategy. So there also, I would like to know from your personal experience, because personal experience is really a very powerful one, because you have tried it, like you say, for example, in the beginning, you have experimented on it, that for 11 years you have been on LinkedIn, but you were not serious on it until a time that you were really serious on it. So that is really important for me. So how do you embark on your content strategy? What can you share with the audience about that?
When it comes to content strategy, you need to know what is your goal. First of all, what's your goal? Is it to educate? Is it to entertain? Is it to get leads? Is it to so those are the things. There must be a goal. So anytime I'm putting out a content, I first look at what is the goal. What do I want to achieve by this particular kind of content? Maybe it's just to is it to motivate? Is it a motivational post? Is it an educational post? So knowing that will help you to know what kind of post to create, because you have a goal. This is what I want this post to do. Okay, so is it to generate leads? Then I know that this is the kind of post I'm going to write. So you always need to have a goal, right? And also have content pillars. Is it to educate? Is it to inspire? Is it is it for lead generation? Those kind of things is very important. You don't just come out and just feel, oh, what I feel like writing today, I just write anything. These have to be put in place. So it's very important to do that.
The other question I would also like to understand is the opportunity that you see on LinkedIn, because you've been there for a long time now. So you certainly understand what people can benefit using LinkedIn, particularly maybe those that are within the area of business, content creation, or generally the creative economy.
Yeah.
So what kind of opportunity do you see there that you would like people to pay attention to?
I think speaking engagements, you actually do get quite a number of speaking of engagements. I've gotten speaking engagements on and off, LinkedIn, and which is very good for visibility. And even I think some months ago, I helped a client. I helped write, their web copy. It was a non-profit organization, and through that, they're quite impressed with my work, and they want them to join them on as a strategy team member. So, which is, which is quite good. So there's so many opportunities on LinkedIn. It's not just about, one is to look beyond just making money, on there. I know that, obviously many people are on there, to make money, to get clients, to get business. But, beyond that, there's so many opportunities, collaborations, this is one. I'm here right now, so this is another one. So there's so many opportunities out there, and that's why one needs to ensure that you have a robust personal brand, because people will people will come once they see that you're you have a well-established personal brand and you're doing well on LinkedIn. So you definitely get collaborations, you'll get speaking engagements, and even influencing gigs as well.
Somebody is listening to you now and is trying to say, okay, but what are some of those things that I need to avoid to be able to succeed on LinkedIn? So I don't know if anything you would like to share with people there.
Things to avoid.
Yeah.
I think this I have arrived mentality. Avoid that, because we keep learning. Even I haven't stopped learning. We keep learning all the time. Don't be stagnant. If you need to upskill. If there's anybody you need to learn from, please do. Reach out to people. If you see somebody's doing well in a certain area that you're not doing so well in, please reach out to people. If you need to do a course or training, whatever it is, but whatever it is that you need to do, please do it. So don't think that, now that I've got this number of followers, or my, and I'm, I'm doing well and all that. No, I think just, continue to, and the thing is that personal branding is a lifelong journey. Because even, as a person, we're not static. We're learning every day, we're doing new things, so that your personal brand will also evolve as you're evolving. Okay, so it's not static, it's a journey. And so that's what I always tell people. Continue to learn. And also we need people. We need connections. So build strategic relationships, connect with people. No man is an island. You can't do it alone. I wouldn't be where I am today without people, without my followers, without every other person I've met on LinkedIn. So, and also always be ready to help people. I was helped. So I always, try my best to help people. I might not be able to help everybody at once, maybe large, massive groups, but what I do behind the scenes, and that's fine. So I always try to help people as best as I can.
Thank you so much for that. All right, now let's say, let's look at when you were a little bit newer in the platform. Let's say maybe, for example, we could turn back the hands of time. I know how Kelly said that we cannot turn back the hand of time. I understand that. But let's pretend that we can do that. What would you do differently?
What would I do differently? What would I do differently? I'm not sure now. Because I believe that we grow, it's a continuous thing. And maybe things that I thought that, maybe I should have done differently has kind of helped me grow. So I'm not sure if I would do anything differently, to be honest. I don't know if I would. Everything has been a learning process for me. And I had a very I had a very good teacher, a very good mentor who was with me every step of the way, who kind of, because he had been in it for some years, and he'd gone through it. So he was like telling me what to avoid, what not to do, and how to go about it. So it kind of made that process, that journey, a bit easier for me. So I didn't make major mistakes or anything. And the way I was before I did anything, I always went back to him and said, okay, I want to do this. Is this? And he'll be like, no, don't do it this way. If you do it that way, this is what will happen, or this is what. So I had someone who was there for me, who is still there for me because he's still my mentor. So it made it easier for me.
All right. So you recommend that other people also find mentor, or
I would.
is that what?
I would. That's why I will say that if you're not sure about something, or what, reach out to people. Reach out to people. No man is an island. I mean, I get people who reach out to me in my DM. I don't know them from anywhere, and they come to me, they ask me questions. I help them as best as I can. If I don't know something, or maybe it's not something I do, I could always signpost them to somebody else, or help them to get the correct, answer and get back to them. But I'll say, look, reach out, always reach, if you need help, reach out to people. And if you need to get a mentor, then please do. If you need to get the training, please do. It's very important.
All right. Now, how can people connect with you? Because now they've listened to you, they are motivated, they have gotten inspiration. They want to connect with you, they want to work with you. Share with them. How can they reach out to you?
I'm on LinkedIn. My name is Yetunde Oyeleye. So you'll find me on LinkedIn as my name, Yetunde Oyeleye. Personal branding and content strategist. You can send me a DM, and I'll get back to you. And so that's that's it. I've got I help my clients in 2 ways. I've got a training that I do, and it's a 5-step process, and that is me holding your hand as you do it. So it's got 5 different sessions. And then I've got the one where I do it for you, in this case, where I write the posts, for you, and for your either your business or your personal brand. So I come up with the content and everything like that, and stuff. So those are the ways I help my clients.
All right, that's interesting. That is good. It's good that you pointed those one out, so that those who are contacting you, they also know what are going to benefit from you. That's very interesting. All right. So, what would be your final thought here today to conclude the conversation?
Right. It's that LinkedIn is not as overwhelming, or as people think it is, or as it looks. It's not like it was how many years back, like when I came onto LinkedIn. It's not like that. Things have changed. When you come with an open mind, be ready to learn, reach out to people if you need help, if you need to upskill, if you need training or whatever, then please do. It's a learning process. Nobody knows it all. Even I don't know it all. I'm still learning. When I see trainings here and there that I can learn from, I go ahead, and I'm not going to say, oh, because this person is younger than me or anything like that, then that means I won't whatever. No. And I'm sure many people don't know I'm actually 51, so
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
You put it where?
So I can learn from anybody. As long as you have what I want, I'll go for it. So be ready to learn, be open to learn, and also be patient. I find that many people are very impatient because they come and they see somebody with, oh, this person has over 20,000 followers. This person has over 100,000 followers. I want that, but the thing is that those people who are there, it took them some time to get there. They came, they made mistakes, they got up, they learned from it, and they moved on. So everything is a process. So be patient, right? Nothing happens overnight. And that's what I always tell people: be patient. Nothing happens overnight. Put in the work and learn what you need to learn, and be patient, and you'll see, what it is that you're looking for in the end.
Thank you so much for that. That is so true. That is so true. You see, even if you were moving from one part of the city, maybe for example, you are in Lagos, you want to move from Ikenja to Ikoyi, and you want to take a jet plane. You know, jet plane is very fast.
Yeah,
You are still going to take a certain amount of time to move from Ikenja to Ikoyi. So
definitely.
yeah, people need to be patient after they have done all the work. No, not that you're going to be patient and not doing something. You have to do everything you need to do, and yet be patient,
Yes.
because everything have its own time.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. Exactly. It's so true. And now that when just as you said that, I remember when I was much younger, like in my teens, I had dreams of like having an NGO, like helping people, in Nigeria, in Africa, and stuff like that. So I mean, along the way, things happened, and stuff like that. But last year, God just kept on reminding me again about what he wanted me to do, about the NGO and everything. And he told me to go and register, the foundation and everything. I did. I think if I hadn't come onto LinkedIn, I'm not sure if I would have been kind of pushed to do that, because coming onto LinkedIn made me see like a whole, like it's almost like a different world out there. It made me see what I can do, and so when God kept on telling me this thing, you've got to do it, you've got to register the foundation, and things like that. I went ahead and I did it, and I registered the foundation. And in August, I partnered with someone where we did like an empowerment, for a community in Lagos. And where they were taught different things: how to do makeup, how to tie like headgear, different things, at least so that they'll be able to earn some money, able to feed themselves and stuff like that. So and I now have a LinkedIn page for that foundation, which is a Sustains Caring Hearts Foundation. And if I hadn't come onto LinkedIn, I'm not sure if I would have been that bold, let me put it that way, to go ahead and do that, and that's what I was talking about, that people need to look beyond just the profit or with the money, whatever it is they're getting, and see what else is out there, like I said, the collaborations, the different things, and this is, I believe, one of the fruits of being here on LinkedIn, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing. So there's so many opportunities there, and I think people should just learn to leverage on that.
That's super. That's super. That's super. Thank you so much for that, sister. I appreciate the conversation, the sharing. There is a lot of value here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you in the next episode.